Wuchang Fallen Feathers might look a lot like yet another stylish Soulslike from afar, and you know what, it might be, but I'll have to play a little more to find all that out. But now, where some might see this as Black Myth Waifu Edition, I could only hope that the developers didn't assume that we are so weak-willed as to simply play a game for the protagonist alone. But yeah, there's games like Stellar Blade that exist, so maybe these teams are onto something. What I'm trying to get at is that while I went in expecting the bare minimum of Souls-like action during my time playing a demo at GDC 2025, I left with newfound interest in whatever Wu Chang Fallen Feathers wants to be because it's fun as hell. Developed by Leenzee and published by 505 Games, Wuchang Fallen Feathers is targeting a summer 2025 release on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. During gameplay, players step into the role of a pirate warrior named Wu Chang, who's battling both external horrors and a mysterious inner affliction known as ornithopy. It's also noting that Wu Chang is a female protagonist who, isn't afraid to equip some revealing gear, if not to look fashionable on the field, then for the various stat boosts that they provide. While not all of the costumes push the envelope, the wardrobe variety is rather striking. Still, I held back from exploring too many options during my play session, mostly because the developers were hovering nearby and I was at least pretending to be a little professional in public. But back to the game. Where Wuchang delivers spectacle and power, Wu Chang encourages players to engage with combat like a fluid, reactive sequence. Attacks, dodges, and stance shifts create a rhythm that builds tension and release across each encounter. One fight against a bird-like guardian captured this well, forcing me to weave between sweeping wing strikes before unleashing a well-timed counter. There's a rhythm that wraps you up during attacks, which resembles a sort of dance performance. It's rather hypnotizing. And yeah, no, I'm not just looking at the main protagonist, geez. Combat customization opens up a variety of playstyles. Boss abilities can be absorbed, weapons can be enhanced with elemental enhancements, and red mercury acts as a tuning material for deeper experimentation. These tools feed into a combat loop that encourages strategic play just as much as mechanical execution. Another standout moment had me besting an enemy after various attempts, but then learning about his weakness and taking advantage of it. But while playing, I found some room for refinement, especially if the team wants the rhythm-based combat to feel consistently rewarding across a full-length experience. Set during the late Ming Dynasty in a war-torn Shu region, Wu Chang builds a world soaked in folklore, history, and horror. The biggest thread is ornithopy, a disease that twists people into monstrous hybrids that has infected the land. The level design and creature aesthetics made a strong initial impression, but what lingered was the feeling that this world had been lived in and left behind. The branching paths typically lead to the bosses, and no, I was not able to beat it, but I put up a good fight at least 20 times. Listen, I never said I was good at this genre, but I like to play it. But despite these strong first impressions, Wu Chang still has work ahead if it hopes to truly carve out a place in an increasingly crowded genre. The Souls-like space is saturated, and players now are more discerning than ever, with many craving the more flashy and fluid actions of Ys and Ninja Gaiden. I would hope this team has plans for deeper reveals of its combat systems or a publicly available demo that gives players hands-on time, since early feedback will be crucial in refining what makes Wu Chang feel distinct. I would love to see something that makes the game a must-play now from an I can wait till later. Fortunately, the combat and customization mechanics already show promise as defining features, and if Leenzee leans into these strengths, Wu Chang has every chance to stand out for the right reasons. There's a sense of identity running through Wu Chang that gives it potential. Its stylish protagonist, fluid animation, and momentum-driven mechanics reflect a focused creative direction. In a place where Black Myth Wukong may have taken a lot of the spotlight, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers could turn out to be a genre's new must-play for at least 2025. The pieces are all there. Now it's about execution. Now, enjoy some gameplay.
上来呀，梦醒中恨子恨皮肤等爱。
Mountains near, rivers yield, eons pass. Stay still! You don't deserve to live! Hold still! Give it up! Time to die! You don't deserve it! Beloved one!
Boys, Pixel.